All right, good Tuesday morning, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for a quick check of your weather. I'm back in the saddle this morning. Had a week of vacation with my wife. We went down to go see our family for Christmas. Was a good trip. Glad to see them. Glad to be back, though, and it does look like the season of tumbleweeds is still certainly in full swing for us here in the High Plains. So that's going to be our main story to talk about is the windy conditions for today and tomorrow. We'll take a look at your extended forecast to talk about maybe some moisture trying to reach into the region by maybe 2023, but it does look like we'll be warm and dry to wrap up this month and this year, 2022. Taking a look at water vapor imagery and radar, you can see that atmospheric river bringing in a lot of copious amount of moisture, just being drummed with heavy rain there in the San Francisco Bay Area. Lots of rain snow mix there in the Sierra Nevadas, and we've got some quieter conditions here in the High Plains. Now, as this system continues to track through the Rockies, it's going to be wrung out. No moisture left by the time it gets here, but we will see some cloud cover here over the High Plains as we move into our Wednesday, which will kind of play a role in just how bad some of our winds could be and how long the high winds may hang around. It is cold this morning, though, even colder in the southeast Texas Panhandle this morning than it was yesterday. 25 down in Childress, 26 in Shamrock, 37 in Amarillo, and then 40 out in Vega. Winds are a little breezy this morning. They will get stronger as we get into the day today, so it is chilly this morning. Probably a jacket necessary for a few hours. Then you get to ditch it this afternoon, as many of us will climb up into the 60s, and some of us maybe even flirting with the low 70s up in northeast New Mexico and the Oklahoma Panhandle. I don't think we'll get into the 70s here in Amarillo, but well above our average high temperature expected for today. Let's run through the computer model. Again, you can see clear skies, full sunshine today, just a few high clouds out there. That's really not going to limit our mixing of the lower levels, so expecting some warm temperatures and some breezy conditions. You can see again our model showing some rain showers trying to move through. We really do not anticipate any of that moisture getting down to the ground. Too much dry air at the surface. Lots of snow in northwest New Mexico, but that's not our viewing area, and that will all stay probably on the west side of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Maybe as far to the east as I-25, but should stay dry here in East New Mexico and the Panhandles region. The cloud cover, again, may limit our fire weather concerns tomorrow, and by the time that we roll into the afternoon, the winds should start to decrease as we see all that cloud cover really flood into the region. And then we'll start to see our next cold front move into the region by Thursday, and that will send our temperatures tumbling a little bit, but should be a relatively weak front. But main story, next weather maker, going to be the wind. Should be sustained around 20 to 25 today, gusting between 25 and 45 miles per hour, with the strongest winds expected in the southwest Panhandle from Amarillo to Clovis and Portales, Tucumcari included in that. And then as we move into your Wednesday, strong winds, in particular down in the Canadian River Valley. That's where most of our models showing a very narrow corridor of what we think will be high winds, probably well within wind advisory criteria, and we'll end up seeing probably winds gusting between anywhere from 50 to even 65 miles per hour down in and around the Canadian River Valley. So that may cause probably at least a nuisance for blowing dust out there, and probably could legitimately cause you some travel issues if we do see those winds exceed 40 miles per hour for sustained winds. And that is certainly a possibility, especially in the early morning hours of Wednesday from 7 a.m. until about 3 in the afternoon. So some of those roads that go through the river valley, like 385, 87, 83, 207, I would certainly drive with caution on them, especially if you're in a lightweight, high-profile vehicle. Those wind gusts could certainly be problematic for you, so just be cautious when hitting the road Wednesday morning. But other than that, the winds should be calm enough that they're not causing too many issues elsewhere, but they are probably going to cause a lot of tumbleweeds to blow around outside, and that's certainly been an issue for the last couple of wind events that we've had roll through the region. Actually, a lot of pictures came in on Thursday, the higher winds that we had that day when that front rolled through that Arctic blast. There was even some county roads shut down because there were so many tumbleweeds on them. So expecting something probably similar over the next few days, the wind just from a different direction. Elevated to critical fire concerns today, tomorrow, probably on Thursday again as well. But again, with all the cloud cover moving through, we do think that that will hold most of our critical fire concerns at bay, expecting probably widespread elevated fire conditions where those winds could gust commonly between 30 and 50 miles per hour. Now, looking ahead at our extended forecast, this is from the Climate Prediction Center. You can see that big ridge keeping us very warm, well above average. After that Arctic outbreak that we had in the eastern half of the U.S., a good chance we'll be above average for our temperatures here in the high plains running into the first couple of days of 2023. I want to show you the Climate Prediction Center's outlook, and then I'm going to talk about what I think is different and what may or may not happen. They have us with an above average chance for some moisture between the 1st and the 5th. I really think you should take that with a huge grain of salt. There's probably not going to be much moisture in that time frame. Most models keeping us very dry in that time frame. I do think that we'll probably see quite a bit of some moisture out here in the west coast and the desert southwest. But the problem is once these systems come out of the mountains, they tend to have some dry air embedded in them, and that usually poses a big issue for us. Lots of rain expected for the Ohio Valley as well as the Mississippi River Basin. But as far as things are concerned, probably along the Front Range in the plains just east of the Front Range in the Rockies, right in here, I think this is going to be pretty dry between the 5th and the 6th, between the 1st and the 6th, I'm sorry. I really don't think we're looking at much moisture chances over the next 12 days or so. That being said, it's not entirely zero. And again, it doesn't take much moisture for us to get up above average. I really just think that they're kind of overlooking some of the dry air intrusion issues that we have here in the eastern plains, or rather in the eastern panhandles and parts of New Mexico, where we tend to be on the dry side of the mountains. Again, you get this rain shadow here, and that tends to really squander a lot of our rain chances when those systems come through. And I think that's going to be a certain issue, certainly a real issue for us over the next couple of weeks. Looks like a true La Nina pattern going to be in full swing for us as we stay dry, windy, and probably warmer than normal. Highs for today, lots of 60s out there. Notice Tucumcari and Boise City making a run, trying to hit 70 degrees this afternoon. Will be mild tonight, probably staying above freezing for everyone in the 40s due to some stronger winds from the west southwest. Highs tomorrow in the 60s and the 70s, and then we'll have temperatures tumbling into the 20s, 30s, and 40s for your Thursday morning as that next front starts to ease through. Here's your 7-day forecast. Not much going on in terms of moisture chances. Got a 10% chance on Monday, moving into next week and the new year, but fire conditions, windy conditions will be the main story for this week. Hey, Marcel, Mike, David, and Tina, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hope you guys are had a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy your day today. Yes, I think we'd all love for La Nina to slow down, Mike. Good news is we think by the time we're rolling into late spring that La Nina conditions will start to kind of dwindle and come to an end. We'll probably be in a neutral phase by the time we move into next summer. That doesn't guarantee a lot of rain for us, but probably more than what we have seen over the last few years. Hopefully we'll continue that pattern and maybe transition to an El Nino. It doesn't guarantee it, but we do think that we'll at least phase out of La Nina moving into next year.